Okay, guys, so check this out. I'm going to show you how I'm making $150,000 to $200,000 every single month with a tiny online presence. I've been able to do this with three main products. Product number one is a low ticket community. Product number two is a program. And product number three is a marketing agency where I literally generate my leads using this. And no, I'm not talking about any sort of paid ads. I'm not talking about any sort of cold outreach. And I'm not even talking about having a massive following. This takes 45 minutes on a daily basis. And it's an 11-step process that I want to explain to you all. So to get right into this, I want you guys to see this image right here. This is of a moat. A moat is a protection from outside invaders who want to come in and steal from you. That's what business is all about. People are constantly trying to steal from you. They want to steal your sauce. They want to steal your customers. They want to steal your influence, whatever you have in the space. And the only way to protect yourself is by creating a moat. Yeah, I can go and dig a hole and I can say, let's go and put some water in it. That's awesome. Now people are going to need a mini boat and you can see if they're coming near you. But what if you put crocodiles? What if you put some sort of fire ring around it? What if you put all of these extra things to protect you from all of these invaders trying to steal from you? That's what all of these big names right over here are trying to preach to you. Dan Cove, very good friend of mine. He's going to be hopping on our podcast next week. He talks about the importance about building your personal brand. Why is it important? Because anyone can just come in and decide to say, hey, I'm going to go and start selling this via cold outreach. I'm going to sign up to the right platforms. I'm going to start sending the cold outreach messages out. You can't stand out like that. That's not going to do anything for you. Same thing with paid ads. Anyone can just go pull out their wallet and just start spending some sort of money on their paid ads and create some content funnels. There is no real moat around these. The real moat is around building a follower base. These 500,000 people and the 1.5 million people that follow him on Instagram, that is his moat. I can go and start tweeting the exact same stuff that Dan's posting, but that's not going to make me go as viral as him. He owns an audience. People trust him. He built trust. And he understands that we're no longer in the attention economy. We're in the trust economy now. All people care for is trusting the right individual. Alex Hormozy preaches the same thing. Iman Gadzhi, Aaron William, all of these individuals are screaming from the top of the mountain, please build your online presence, because it is the ultimate source of leads. And any sort of acquisition you'll ever need will come from your personal brand. So who should be building their personal brand? It's B2B owners. It should be marketing agency owners. It should be freelancers, info product sellers, coaches and consultants. It's pretty much anyone who's selling anything online. And if you can't tell, that's the theme of the video today. 45 minutes a day, you're going to be seeing the exact blueprint on how to create a content strategy that converts with minimal effort. I'm talking 45 minutes on a daily basis. So I think the biggest myths about personal branding is, do I need a massive following? Do I need to do some sort of massive outreach? I think the biggest myths and barriers that people face when it comes to personal branding is, I need some sort of massive following. No, you don't. Hasnain had 800 followers and he was closing $20,000 deals. Anvar had less than 3K followers and he closed $50,000 worth of deals. All of these individuals that you're seeing here are continuously closing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of deals with a tiny personal brand. I'm talking about less than 6,000 to 7,000 followers. And you probably think to yourself, how the hell is that possible? It's because you're going to be creating content using the strategy we're talking about in this video to create content that is qualified, that perfectly nurtures your perfect prospect, that builds trust with your perfect prospect. And the final myth is, I don't have time to spend hours a day building the present. You don't need that. It's 45 minutes a day following this specific framework. So everyone always talks about, should I do cold outreach? Should I do paid ads? Should I do personal branding? Your personal brand is the nucleus. For example, if I wanted to start outreaching someone today, I will be able to get their attention because I have my personal brand. I reached out to Dan Code the other day and I said, hey, you want to hop on my podcast? He is one of the biggest names in the space, but him and I have been friends for years because of the personal brand. And this is because people now trust me. People don't trust you with your cold outreach. People don't trust you with your paid ads. Everything should be revolving around your personal brand. When you have the personal brand created, you're going to be able to use that as some sort of leverage to stand out from everybody else in the space. If there's 1,000 people who are outreaching the same exact bloody person, what would make you stand out? Nothing, unless you have that moat created, which is your online presence. And don't get me wrong, cold outreach works. You should be using it to get to $20,000 a month. Don't get me wrong, yeah, paid ads does work, but you need to be able to stand out from everybody else in the space, or else your acquisition costs are going to be absolutely absurd. So the platforms we're going to be talking about in this video today are Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and your personal brand's emails. There's also Instagram and TikTok, but I'm not going to be talking about those ones too much. They work, but they're not really that necessary. So what worked before versus what is working now? Content is a completely different world than what it was before. What do I mean by this? Back in the day, I can produce literally anything. I can say drink water and I would start closing deals. But as time goes on, as more people start teaching you the sauce, other people start implementing it and things get a little bit more saturated. And with saturation comes the need for better value, the need for better entertainment, aka the greatest content that you can be producing. So the old funnel is, yeah, I can produce some stories, I can produce some case study related content, but that's not performing anymore. I can tell people my perspective on how to run a business. I can show some technical stuff and be like, here are 6 strategies to the ABC, but that's not working. And that was my old videos. I'm talking about 4 or 5 months ago. Those do not work. The most updated strategy right now is based off of what I'm about to teach you. There are 3 main pillars that you got to create for your entire account. The first pillar is some sort of technical value that you have. If you're a retention marketer, then you're going to be talking about retention marketing. If you're a paid ads agency owner, you're talking about paid ads, some sort of technical value within your space. The second pillar is going to be the perspective of the CEO. People are hiring people. People want to hire you because of your business mind. Talk about building in public. Talk about the lessons you're learning. Talk about the failures you're going through. Talk about the perspective that you have leading a team, running a business, trying to reach whatever outcome you have. Let people relate to you. Let other business owners who are trying to hire you relate to you. And then the third pillar is going to be the news. What is X becoming? What is Elon screaming from the top of the mountains and preaching? He's saying that I'm building this platform, aka X, which is the most important platform we're talking about. He's saying that you need to become the news. He wants everything to be around the news, around specific industries. So if you're in the paid ads niche, you better be talking about any new update that happens on Meta. You better talk about every new update that happens on Google. People need to be following you because you're giving the most up-to-date value. Anyone could be like, here's a cool strategy I learned inside of my ad account, but like that's not going to be anything new and updated. Think about the logical reason. Why do you watch the news? You watch the news because there's always something new within the news. And that's what the new content funnel is going to look like. Your top of the funnel is hot takes. These are your opinions, the perspective of a CEO about something that you're seeing in the space that used to work that's no longer working. Then there's some sort of stories. We're talking about what experiences have you had in life that taught you a specific lesson. Then we're going to talk about experiences, which is a part of the story side of things as well too, and then motivational content. This is our top of funnel. This is what's going to connect people to go ahead and start seeing your content. You're going to cast a really, really wide net, and when you cast that wide net, you're going to be able to nurture those people with authority content, case study content, and video content, just like what I'm doing right now. The objective of this video is to nurture the people who have been following me. If you're watching this, then you've seen my other content before. I'm nurturing you now, and then the bottom of the funnel is promotions and email lists. Now, how do we come up with the content pieces? How do we come up with infinite content ideas? Well, it's super simple. I have a very wicked process for this, and it's all about interviewing yourself. So I have these list of questions that you should screenshot right now, and I want you to answer each of these questions, but I will give you examples too. But what are some personal anecdotes or stories that you can share that would be relevant to your business? Well, I used to own an office of 75 employees, and because of that, I was able to learn how to start a marketing agency. I lived in an 8 feet by 8 feet room inside of my office for years building these businesses. We built softwares, we built Shopify applications, we built e-com brands, marketing agency to 7 figures and beyond. And then our biggest issues constantly were XYZ. And I can talk about these stories. What advice would you give to other business owners just starting out in your niche? I would say exactly what I'm teaching here. The video that I'm teaching you right now is literally about answering this specific question of people who want to learn how to build their personal brand. So I answered these questions, and I'm going to use these questions to come up with content pieces revolving around one of these 18. I think the issue is people think that content is always the same content. I can produce some sort of lifestyle content or value content. No, there's 18 different versions of a tweet, 18 different versions of a piece of content. And you're probably wondering, why the hell are you so focused on Twitter? Because Twitter is the most powerful platform you can ever build your personal brand on. There's not a single freaking platform in the existence of the world that will deliver a better ROI than Twitter when it comes to building a personal brand with the least amount of effort. You do not need 100,000 followers. You don't need 500,000 followers. You don't even need 20,000 followers. People are closing consistently hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of deals with less than 6,000-7,000 followers. How do they do it? They understand the 18 different content pieces. For example, a value tweet. A value tweet is a very simple tweet that is 280 characters that answers a frequently asked question that your audience has, mind map breakdowns, or a visual breakdown of some piece of content that you created. For example, Carl Weiss, who's on our program, he's closed $300,000 worth of deals in 90 days. If you want to work with me to create your content and build your personal brand, click the link in the description. I'll help you out. Then there's my own visual right here. Look at this beautiful mind map. If you want my mind maps, comment down in the description. I'll share it with you. Then there's a lifestyle post, which are you showing the behind the scenes in your life, showing your lifestyle, showing that you're an actual human being. That's not this technical nerd constantly talking about, oh, here's how to make money. Oh, here's what's working right now. No, you need to show people you're a freaking human. Imagine you and I out for a coffee today. Imagine you and I are out talking about something going on in your life and you screenshot that. That's what you got to consider your content as. Stop being so systematic all the time. You need to be human. Then there's authority-based posts. Authority-based long forms are you breaking down an entire strategy in a long form post. For example, F-it. For the first time ever, I'll be breaking down the exact content strategy allows me to hit these numbers. My personal brand makes me 6 figures a month. I have a team of 5 marketers working daily to make this possible. And then 40,000 views on this. I book calls because of this. Or I show a screenshot of revenue and then I expand on it. This is some sort of authority post where people can see that you're an authority. Then there's drawn posts. A drawn post is a strategy post where you're actually drawing a strategy out, which you should be doing twice on a weekly basis. Transformationals are top of funnel. One of the easiest ways to gain followers is the transformational content. The transformational content is showing where you were before versus where you are right now and how much life has changed. There's business takes and hot takes. These are you telling your perspective on running your business. Visual image breakdowns is the same as a mind map, but expanding on it within a thread or a long form. Promotional posts with an actual call to action where you're literally showcasing a result that your people have had. And then with those results, you're going to have a link to a CTA to book a call with you. Technical long forms, very similar to authority, but now you're not flexing a result. You're just going to be breaking down the strategic steps that it takes to reach a specific outcome. There's all of these different content pieces that you can be testing out. I have a video in the description that explains every single one of them in depth. Now, which ones are you supposed to use based off your follower range? That's where this strategy comes in. If you have less than 500 followers, you're going to be doing video breakdowns, authority-based long forms, story-based posts, mind maps, and last but not least is going to be hot takes and personal takes. Those are the most important content pieces you need if you have less than 500 followers where you want to close deals during those less than 500, but as well as grow your account. If you have 500 to 5K, now you should start continuously promoting yourself 3 times on a weekly basis. So you still have the videos, you still have authority, you still have promotion, now you still have stories, and you still have value to it. So only thing new here is kind of the promotions. And then 5,000 plus, now you're introducing business takes. Now you're introducing video breakdowns. Now you're introducing technicals and custom funnels and story-based and mind map break content. If you guys want me to show you the exact strategy for these, comment them down below and we can talk about the word for word strategy I would have for all of these. But this is a high level overview of what you should be doing on X right now. For the LinkedIn side, it's super simple. You're going to take your winning long forms from Twitter every single day and post them on LinkedIn. My clients are closing 9-figure brands, guys, from LinkedIn. It's absurd. Not 1 or 2, consistently closing multi-8 and multi-9-figure brands from LinkedIn by just repurposing their content on the platform. You can post motivational content, winning creative images from Twitter, and promotions. Copy and paste. Your YouTube strategy is exactly what I'm doing right now. You're going to define frequently asked questions that your audience has. You're going to create an entire video breaking down the answer using a strategy or a raw video where you can be literally on YouTube talking straight in front of your camera. For example, how I did over here where I just talked directly in front of the camera and it did exceptionally well. This gets to nurture people. People get to see me as a real human being. And then the last one is going to be a case study breakdown where I'm actually breaking down a strategy on a result that I brought for someone. Then your weekly emails. Guys, emails are printing. 1 to 2 emails a week based off of the perspective of a CEO, 1 email a week based off a case study, and 1 technical email. That is it. And at the bottom of every email, just promote yourself. Then we're going to talk about propaganda. This is a very unique topic. Propaganda is a way to actually build a cult-like following. So for example, how Trump has Make America Great Again, how Alex Hormozi has his nose strip, how Hamza over here always wears his bathrobe, or all of these slogans that you're seeing, or when people rally around a concept so much, that's what you're able to do with your audience if you understand what your mimetic is. So one of the mimetics, and I'm going to describe what this is, I use for my brand is LLU, which means long live Utopia. And since the Utopia was a community that changed many lives, there's people standing behind the memetic and putting utopian in their names on social media. I have people with tens of thousands of followers with utopian in their name. People are building curiosity, and it's because I've built a cult-like following around a common enemy, a purpose, and an identity. So in the case of Utopia, the identity would be utopian. The purpose is to make $10,000 a month without spending an arm and a leg, and the common enemy is the high-priced course industry. In the case of the presence pillars in my agency, the identity is a micro authority. The purpose is to close massive deals with a tiny following, and the common enemy is F influencers. I don't want to sell my soul to start getting some sort of money coming in. I want to be my authentic self. Your goal is to have your audience rally around you. You're going to build your own memetics. You're going to identify your own identity. You're going to have a purpose for the actual messaging you have, and then create a common enemy that people can rally behind. So next up is all about networking. Networking is about befriending your followers. The first 100 people that have ever followed you, you should know them on a personal basis. You want to engage with them. You want them to trust you. You want them to know that you're a value source for them. And the best way to do this is when people start following you, comment back on their post if you see them posting, or jump into DMs with them. People want to befriend you on a personal level. People have no idea who the hell you actually are. You're not going to go to a coffee shop or chill with your friends and not talk. You got to talk and communicate and chat with people on a personal level. And that's important because of the way that the X algorithm works. So Andre explained this the other day. He said people on X complain that their reach is declining. People on LinkedIn complain that their reach is declining. People on Instagram, same thing. And the reason for this is because all the platforms are moving from a social graph to an interest graph. In other words, you don't see content from people you follow, but you will see content based off of specific keywords. So start ranking for specific keywords and interests. Start using them within your content. When you have great quality content and you're using a keyword within it, it's going to start showing up on the right For You pages. And when things are on the right For You pages, people are going to engage with you. You're going to engage back with them, and you're going to start showing up on their For You pages. It's a super simple flow, but create content with the right keywords. When the right keywords are there, people will engage with you. When people engage with you, befriend them, jump into the DMs with them, and then jump in calls with them. You need to do this. This is the boring, unscalable work for a lot of people. But once you actually build your clique, once you actually build your friend group, that's when X becomes amazing. So that's basically it. If I was restarting, I would find someone who's mastered the art of this entire process. I can help you build your personal brand. If you want my team creating content for you, we have a content subscription. If you want my team creating the strategy for you, we have an entire strategy process. Just click the link in the description and you can work with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.